Hi, my little rainbows. I am here today, and I know you're waiting for the question, but actually, I'm going to do that a little bit later. What I wanted to talk about right now is 10 things. Actually, it's 11, but I should have said 11 things that help you get through, but it just so happened I have it written down 10 things to help me get through. But these are things that help me get through everyday life. And when you've got joint aches, or you've got muscle fatigue, or muscle weakness, or, a plethora of many other things, these are just some things that help me. And maybe with them helping me, they might help you. Some of them are just so simple that I'm sure you already know, but we're going to talk about them anyway. So, our number one thing is when I get in the shower and I have these big shampoo bottles or body wash, I find it very hard some days to be able to have the strength to be able to, to just put like a dollop, in my hand and to be able to squeeze the bottle. So the one thing that I have found with that is either A, buy sample bottles, or B, get they actually sell these kits and they have all different bottles, the plastic bottles in it. So you can actually pour your shampoo into there. So you don't have to worry about, having to work with this big bottle of shampoo or body wash. So that one's number one. And then number two, sorry, every time I start to film, I swear my nose gets itchy. Number two, put things that are heavy on lower shelves in your refrigerator. For the longest time, we have stored our milk on the top shelf. And if there's any kind of juices, they're usually always stored on the top shelf. However, my daughter seen the one day that I put the milk down on the lower shelf, and it was much easier for me to lift because there are some days that if there's the gallon of milk on the top shelf, I can't even get it down. I have to ask her to come over and, to put it on a lower shelf. So, because for some reason, I just don't have that mobility sometimes in my, in my shoulder or in my arm to be able to pick up that milk. Back when I used to work at Wawa and I would fill the walk-in, it was nothing for me to lift hundreds and hundreds of gallons of milk every day. And when I think about that now, and I'm like, wow, where I was, where I'm at now. But I think maybe getting older, I don't know, I'm going to be 65, so maybe has like that much to do with that, but I don't know. I keep saying no, but along with that, what she did the one day, she was out at Dollar Tree, and she found these here, and if you see spots, yes, I do need some rinse agent in my dishwasher. But she found these, which I think are great. And what she does is she'll take this part here and she'll fill that with milk. So then, if for some reason the milk does get moved around or something, this will be on the shelf. And when I make my coffee or I make my tea, the milk is right here. So I don't have to lift that heavy gallon. And these are also great for lots of other things. I mean, you can use these. It's got a little salad thing with it, so or a dressing thing. I mean, these are really cool. And like I said, they were at Dollar Tree. The next thing, which would be number 3, or might even be number 4. I don't even know where I'm at now. But anyway, get yourself a side table or a TV tray. Because there are some nights when my back is just had enough, and I get into my recliner and I go over to reach for the remote, and I find the remotes across the room in front of the TV. I make my coffee or I make my tea, and I have to set it over by the bird cage, and then the bird starts fluttering around, and now I got seeds floating in floating in my coffee. So I said the one day, I said, you know what? I'm going to get myself a side table. So it's actually a TV, one of those wooden TV trays. So when I sit down, I have my remote, I have my my thing for the fan, my remote for the fan. I have my coffee or tea. I usually have some kind of crackers or candy or dog treats, not for me, but for if the dogs start bothering me, I have their treats right there. So, but it's like, okay, when I sit down, everything is there. I usually will grab my day's pills, my water, everything. So, if I'm going to sit down, I'm going to sit down maybe for an hour or 2 hours or whatever. I'm watching my TV shows. I don't want to get up and have to go get all this other stuff. So everything is right there. I love it. And my daughter says it's so cute when she's cooking dinner and all of a sudden she sees me rearranging my little table, and, so then she brings my dinner out to me. So, that's great. That's great. The next thing I'm going to say is have some soft foods on hand. So, by soft foods, I mean applesauce, soup, hard-boiled eggs, pudding, things like that. Because I can tell you, I don't know whether it's the long COVID or whether it's the joint disease or whatever it is. But there are literally days that I don't even want to chew. I mean, my jaws actually hurt, so I don't want to chew anything. So that's when things like soup and hard-boiled eggs and pudding and things like that, that's when they come into play. Because then I really don't have to chew. I know, some people you could say, I don't even want to chew today. And they're like, oh, come on, you can't possibly be that tired or that fatigued or whatever. Let me tell you something. When you are in the same predicament, when you have some of the same problems and go through some of the things that I do on a daily, you know what I'm talking about. And you probably go through it yourself. So, yep, some days I don't want to chew. This next one is this jar opener. Now, I don't even know where my daughter got it from, but lately I have seen them at like Home Centric or Home Goods had them. This thing is a lifesaver. She actually bought this for my husband because he was having problems opening jars and things because his hands had gotten so bad from the arthritis. And I wound up taking it over. And this thing, I'm telling you, I have not found a jar yet that I cannot open with this thing. So this is amazing. Get yourself a jar opener. The next thing I can tell you, if you wear a bra, get a button front snap or the hooks in the front, because I can tell you, I have literally sat on my bed and cried because I could not either A, get it on in the back, or B, take it off. Because my arms and my hands and that just got so fatigued that I couldn't even open it. And then I found, you know what? Get yourself either a button front or get yourself some sports bras. And then you don't have to even worry about snaps. You just lift it over your head. So the next thing I would say is this. Where did it go? I had my trusty little grabber, and I don't know what I did with it. This. I was walking through Dollar Tree one day and I seen this and I said, there is no way that that is only $1. But it was. And I'll tell you what, if I am sitting here at my desk or I'm sitting at my chair and I drop anything on the floor, papers, whatever, it is so great to have that thing near me and just be able to pick it up without having to bend over and grab it. And again, I know it seems lazy, but it's really not. It's really not, because I can bend over. Since I've broken my back, I can literally bend over for one thing and it can put me out for a week. So get yourself a grabber. The next thing would be to use planners and reminders and apps to help with memory and cognitive issues. You know, especially since I've had long COVID, I have a hard time remembering a lot of things. And so if you actually got a good look at my desk, you would see that there are notes everywhere, and appointment books, and these books, and notebook paper, and everything everywhere. So, next thing I would say, engage in cognitive activities like crossword puzzles, brain games. I play Candy Crush Soda. So every night, usually before I go to bed, I have to have at least 3 or 4 rounds of Candy Crush Soda. And I think that, plus I love, oh my gosh, those shows with, like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune and things like that really get you thinking. So keep your brain sharp, because I see people who do like nothing and their memory is declining. And yet I see people that every morning they get up and they do their crossword puzzles and they are sharp as a tack. So keep your brain sharp. The next thing, my kitchen shears. You know, these are only $1. Actually, they're $1.25 now at Dollar Tree. They're made by Betty Crocker, and I am amazed what these things cut through. I mean, they cut through everything from celery to lettuce to chicken. $1.25. These things are amazing. So get yourself a pair of shears. And the last thing that I would tell you, you know your body. You know your body better than anybody knows their body. And the one thing that I would definitely say, when you need rest, rest. That's your body telling you it needs a timeout. It just needs a lie down for a little bit. And when I find, when my body is telling me you need to lie down for a little bit, you just need to rest, and I try to push it, I just hit a wall. And it's like I am just staring at my computer screen or staring at the phone screen with a blank stare. And that is okay, you've had enough for today. So when your body tells you to rest, rest. So anyway, I hope that I have helped you just a little bit in getting some things that help you and help you get through everyday life. Some of these things are so little, but yet they change everything. Imagine you just poured out your coffee and you're waiting for that cup of coffee and you realize the milk is on the top shelf and you can't get the milk. Now I've got to drink black coffee. Well, I don't like black coffee and I don't like black tea either. And that just depresses me until somebody can get home or somebody wakes up or whatever to help me get the milk down. So just that little jar makes such a world of difference. So anyway, I am going to let you guys go. I appreciate you being here with me. If you like these kind of videos, subscribe. I need subscribers. And I got to tell you guys, I love reading your comments. There are so many of you that, that leave the most wonderful comments. And I love each and every one of you guys. So with that said, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.